how this came to be, which we've always tried to bring our providers together, but Brittany Young and I got a grant from Child Care Aware to do a project. And our project was to try to start a small network, just somehow to get information out to all our family child care providers. Because like, as you said, they're spread out. And with virtual, it's a lot easier to get them in one room. So, and so we try to bring them any new information that we find out and things going on, and kind of, I'm sure your agency does something like that similar.
Sure.
But yeah, this is just so it's called Better Together Family Child Care Network is what Brittany and I came up with. And so I think it's about a year now that we started that. And
I love the name.
Yeah. So it's been fun. And Brittany and I were even actually able to go to their symposium when did we go, Brittany? May? I think so. I've been to
from Child Care Aware?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was the beginning of May. Brittany and I traveled to DC, Virginia area, and it was great because we actually got to go on the state, we actually got to advocate for family child care at the federal level. So it was awesome. So
that is so cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to get started. I'm Mary Beth Bush, the Early Childhood Resource Center, and I am the regional coordinator out of Mahoning County. And I have a few colleagues on here, so I will let them introduce themselves, and then we will introduce our guest. So Holly, you're to my left. Do you want to go?
Hi, everybody. My name's Holly Turner, and I'm an early childhood specialist outside of the Boardman office. And I have some family child care providers in Mahoning and Trumbull County.
Okay. Hello, I'm Brittany Young. I'm an early childhood specialist out of the Summit office, and I work with all of the family child care in Summit and Medina County. Sorry, my camera's going to be off. I have some cooties, so not feeling too well. But I know I wanted to be here today to see all you lovely faces. So thanks you for
Brittany.
coming.
Thanks, Brittany. You want to go, Danielle? Okay, good. Thanks, Danielle.
I'm Danielle. I am early childhood specialist out of Stark County. I work mainly with family child care. So if you're in Stark County and have not talked with me, I'm newer. So yeah.
You can put your number in the chat too if you want to, Danielle.
Okay.
Yeah. So anybody in Stark, like you said, if you haven't met her yet, then you'll have her phone number. All right. You want to go, Dorothy? We're just introducing where you guys are from and what counties.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Gray. I'm an early childhood specialist, and I'm in the Boardman office, and I am a specialist for Mahoney, Trumbull, and Portage.
And Kim. She's trying to unmute, I think. Did you get it, Kim? All right. Well, Kim is out of our Summit office also and has family child care. Summit and Medina, or just Summit? Oh.
Or it'll just be Summit.
Just Summit for Kim. Okay. And then all of our specialists have special projects too. That's why they said mostly. So as you know, Terry, we do a lot of different things. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest. Her name, and I'll probably say your name wrong, but Terry.
That's all right.
She is from one of our neighboring resource and referral agencies, but they have the child care food program grant, which we don't offer that through our agency. So she was just telling us they cover 26 counties. So she just wanted to come on and talk about the food program. Oh, I saw Kim. You're off mute. Do you want to say hello?
Yeah, hi guys. Sorry about that. I am from the Akron office. I work with Summit County, and I'm moving into a new grant with family child care.
Awesome. Thank you. Sorry about that, Terry. I seen her unmute, so I thought I'd get her in there. So Terry's just going to talk about it. If you're already on a food program, you probably already know what this is. But if you're newer or haven't been on for a while, because I know a lot of people tell me, oh, I got off for this reason or that. So I'm going to let Terry take it away.
Well, thank you, Mary Beth. I so appreciate it. And to the rest of your team, how I'm so thrilled to meet all of you guys and have names and faces with names. I know some of you I met at the conference, so thank you very much. And Danielle, I'm really glad to get your face, because when I was out in Stark County yesterday, neither of the girls knew their contact, and I'm like, well, I'm in a meeting tomorrow. We're gonna find it and I'll get it to you. So
That
I
is
love
crazy
that.
because Ashley's one that you met with, and I've been meeting with her like weekly.
Well, you know, we were it was busy yesterday with Ashley because she had kiddos there and the teens came in and we had traffic in and out. So that was probably part. Matter of fact, we were both laughing because I'm like, did you keep this paper? And she's like, oh, my stars, I did. So she was sending me paperwork today. So it was funny. So it's all good. But of course, they had another name from somebody else that used to be there. So I just love it. And I will be putting my name and contact in the chat box here when we're done. So again, I want to thank Mary Beth for the invite. As she said, I am with your sister R&R, the Child Care Resource Center, and the CCRC is located, our central office is located in Lorain, Ohio. And as far as the R&R goes, we cover Lorain County and the R&R goes west. So we're kind of the opposite direction of y'all. We go from Lorain County, the R&R, to Erie, Huron, Sandusky, and Seneca counties. But the food program, the family child care component, we are one of the oldest food program sponsors in the state of Ohio, if not the oldest. We laugh about it. I've been around longer than dirt, they say. And so we're one of the longest that have been there. But my food program covers all along the North Coast, basically. And we go from Indiana to Michigan to PA. So we are in 26 counties. So we are definitely in all of the counties that your R&R serves, that the ECRC serves. We again not only sponsor homes, but we're also a center sponsor. I live and breathe in the home network. I'm the one that's on the soapbox advocating for my homes, my family child care. You guys are my heartbeat. So I love the family child care network. And just a little bit of history about me. I've been with this agency about 20 years now, almost 20 years with the R&R. I started with the R&R after being in the front line. I've never been a home provider, but I've worked in child care centers. So I've been involved in the food program for over 3 decades, probably longer than some of us on this call may have been with us alive, but I've been on in the food program, either in the front line or now as a sponsor for over 3 decades. I've actually been in the early childhood field even longer than that. I was my son's preschool teacher, and he'll be 42 this year. So I've been in the early childhood field for many, many years. But my passion is the food program, and my team, we stand very steadfast on, yes, we are a regulatory agency, but the food program is definitely regulatory, but we are very unconventional regulatory. And in part of that is because we are an R&R. Our goal is to support you while you are feeding these children and getting them their most nutritious start to their young lives. And we stand very steadfast on coaching and the same model that your R&R specialists do: coaching, mentoring, and technical assistance. And that is where we stand on the food program. We always try to run with the concept of 212 degrees. And if you're not familiar with that, just a real quick overview, check out the book. But the 212 is that water boils at 211 degrees. And that 1 extra degree, you produce steam, and steam can power a locomotive. So we are here to power your locomotive, so to speak. And my team, that is how we believe, and this is what we practice. So that being said, a little bit about the food program. If you are new and you're not familiar with us, we are a federal program where you are with licensing. All of you on the call, family child care providers, you are licensed. You are licensed through the state of Ohio, through the Ohio Department of Jobs and Family Services. I've been doing this long enough that Used to be something called alternate approved or friends, family, and neighbors. Some of you may have heard of that over the years. I see Mary Beth shaking her head, where we had alternate approved programs in our database, even as an R&R, where we, as the R&R, we were your regulatory agency because we were the ones that came in and did your home inspection, and we had the fire inspectors out and stuff. So, but licensing came through as a whole, I believe it was 2008. And when that hit all 88 counties, the food program went to all licensed. So you must be licensed. So if you are a licensed provider, whether you are a type A, type B, or a center for us, but with my program, type A or B, you are eligible to be a part of the food program. My food program sponsorship, we do bring on provisional programs. I know as a provisional provider, it's overwhelming sometimes. You're hearing from your licensing specialist here, you're hearing from ECRC here about, step up to quality perhaps, or provider services, resources for your business growth. And then this person's going to come in with food program. We take it in very small steps for you. We meet you where you're at. If you're ready to come on at this point, we start slowly with your training. If you're ready to fly out of the box, and I'm right there trying to take the controls, and we're flying together. So we do accept provisional licensed programs. Right now, current average reimbursement. Now the food program is that it's a reimbursement. So it is not like we're buying your groceries. It's not like a SNAP card. It's not like your WIC or your SNAP cards. It is a reimbursement. Every month you get reimbursed for the meals that you serve the children. And right now, on average, I just had this because anybody in this R&R on the call from the R&R knows we have so much statistical data. I just ran it right now. The last statistical data I had was the average reimbursement for my providers is $699.05 a month. So we're looking at $700 a month on average. Now, of course, that's going to depend on how many kiddos you have enrolled, how many days of the week you're claiming, and any of that. But we have increased reimbursement from like 524. I'd had to pull that number up to $699 right now. And we're just about to wrap our fiscal for the food program, my fiscal year. So that's just to kind of give you some understanding. That's above and beyond what you're getting from private pay for the children in the care. That's above and beyond what you're getting from subsidized. So $699 is average. Food program, the requirements, the great thing about food program for me is, in sharing with providers like you, is that the same thing that licensing is requiring, we are. I mean, you have certain components that you must meet to be able to, if you have kids in a certain amount of time in your care, you have your whole family child care rules that say these are your nutritional requirements. It's license number 5101-2-13-22, just to give you some concept on that. But it is the same things that you're required for licensing, you're required for the federal food program. So let us get money in your pocket, for that. You have to have scheduled menus posted. You have to have bottles labeled and dated for your babies. You have to serve certain components for breakfast, lunch, snacks. We help you with your menus. We're not going to set you up for failure. We're not just going to give you the program and go, here you go. That's not how I roll. So we're going to look over your menus. We're going to help you tweak them. We strongly encourage you, if you haven't worked with your R&R, to get OHP certified, to please consider get a Ohio Healthy Program certified. You don't have to, but it's so great to help you with that. But we're also there to help you with your menu development and your scheduled menus that you need. We do as much as possible. The greatest majority of our food program is all digital. So we do that because we have found that it does help lessen disallowances while increasing your reimbursement. So we train you. The software to use is totally free. If you can navigate social media, you can do this software, trust me. And I know most everybody's on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, something, so I'm the techie one in the office. I love it. So let us help you out with that. It's a free program to use. There's a lot of, matter of fact, being in this field for so long, I've got my buzz on the software developer. I meet with them bi-weekly to do program enhancements with the software developer. I personally have had that. Well, we were meeting weekly and now we meet bi-weekly. And I'm working with all the customer care navigators at the software just to be certain that we've got the most easily usable software available for you guys that are doing the food program. Again, you get the same components are required for the food program. You get reimbursed for 2 major meals and 1 snack per child per day. So your meals are breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then, of course, snacks are any of the 3: morning snack, afternoon snack, or evening bedtime snack, whichever you'd like to call it. So you get reimbursed for 2 major meals and a snack. Of course, you can do 2 snacks and a meal, but the meals are going to give you more money. So 2 major meals and a snack per child per day. So if you think about doing lunch, dinner, and a snack, you're getting $7 plus, $7 and change plus per child per day to do lunch, dinner, and a snack. One thing my programs do is we allow you to do what's known as integrity coding. You don't have to, it's just something if you would choose to. What that does is you have to keep track for your taxes, especially as a small business, because each of you are a small business owner and you're going to want to keep track of everything for taxes. You know, if you use tissues, I'm sure you're deducting them or keeping track of them, and your R&R is going to help you with all of that. But what we allow our programs to do is something known as integrity coding. You're not going to get reimbursed because for all these meals, but we know sometimes you'll have kiddos from sun up to sundown. It's a fact in family childcare. So you might have them there for breakfast, morning, snack, lunch, PM, and dinner, and it's only going to pay you for those 2 major meals and 1 snack. But if you go ahead and integrity code, it's going to give you a disallowance. It's the good disallowance. It's not, you're not in trouble. Anything. You're not, it's going to take a lot for you to be in trouble with the food program on my sponsorship. I mean, if I walk in and find some blatant health and safety violations, then we're going to talk through some technical assistance. But the integrity coding is something that does do disallowances. So what that does is it gives you a platform that you have the ability to turn that tax report into your CPA or your accountant at the end of the year, because it's going to show everything that's gotten disallowed, helping with your record keeping so that you're not having to keep that. So if you're feeding them popsicles and stuff, you can't code that. So you'll have to take care of keeping that as a track. Because we know these babies need their sweets as well. But for the food program, we don't want you to giving them all of that. So that is kind of the overview with that. We have, like I said, continuous technical assistance and coaching is my model. Electronic claims. That being said, with electronic claims, because we've been doing this so long and we have been doing electronic processing, we are one of the first in the state to submit a claim, which means my providers, 90% of the time within my control. Sometimes the state ODE has shut down for their fiscal, but within my control, my providers get reimbursed the same month they submit their claims. So my providers, their claims are due by the 3rd, unless it's a hot like this one. Their August claims not going to come in until September 5th because the 3rd Sunday and the 4th is Labor Day. But their claims come in to me by the 3rd. I process them, and they are to the state within the 2nd week of the month, and they usually have that money back before the end of the month. So we work really strongly to make sure you get, because we know how hard you work for your money. So then my job is that we make sure we get that taken care of for you. Like I said, continuous and provisional programs are welcome. If you are currently with a sponsor, thank you. We do appreciate the fact that you are making that dedication to serving children nutritionally right now in this early childhood stage of their life. For family child care, there is one time a year if you feel that you would like more information or that you would like to consider switching sponsors. There's only one time a year you can do that, and that's in October. That's because we, as a federal program, we run on a little different fiscal year. We run October 1st to September 30th. So my current fiscal year is just about to wrap. My new fiscal year starts October 1st. And if you are with a sponsor, again, thank you very much. But if you would like some information about our sponsorship, October is when you're able to move. So, and I think that's it. Does anybody have questions on anything? I can, like I said, I'll leave my information in the chat. But does anybody have information? Oh, all children are eligible. So infants all the way through, you know, school agers. And then of course, just like with JFS, if you have a school ager that's on a special needs plan, like an IEP from school or a 504 medical care plan, you just get me the paperwork and then they're able to be claimed all the way through their school history. Like I have a young man in Lorain County, he's 21 and just finally left the school system. I have another one in Lucas County who 18 left the public school system, but his IEP is still active as he's starting into college. So as long as they have that IEP, we will work with the state to get you qualified to keep claiming those kiddos. So I think that's it. Any questions on anything? You can tell I'm quite passionate about it. So
yeah, you are. You can hear your passion, Terry. But we do have all of her information too. So if you guys think of, I'm always the person that thinks of a question after the fact. So, you know, reach out to your, all the coordinators are on here. So, or the specialists. So if you think of something after, you reach out to them or to Terry, because she's going to put her information in the chat as well.
Yep, I sure am.
We tried to figure out now if anybody wanted to switch. Oh, is it the same for the center? Somebody's asking. I guess it came.
Oh, thank you for asking. Centers, if one of your specialists are asking, or if somebody on the call is asking, centers are a little different. They can switch at any time. Homes can only switch in October.
And Terry, they get paid the same amount as the family, right? I mean, it's a federal rate.
It is a federal rate. Yes, center rates are a little different than our home rates, but yes, the federal registry is released at the same time. If you want to go deep into the USDA things, the USDA Federal Registry is released in July, and those rates become effective July 1st for home, center, after school, National School Lunch Program, National School Breakfast Program. So it's the same pot of money. If you guys have heard about that, if you've ever heard of Providers National School Breakfast, now it's the same funding sources that that's where our funding comes from for the food program. How do we do your food training? Ronnie, the food program training, we do specifically surrounding CACFP. Great question. Thank you for asking. It's no charge to you. We do it surrounding the requirements for CACFP, as well as the requirements on being able to enter the food program data into the software. So it's like almost like two phases. There's a couple of ways I do it. I have done like phase one, it's called, where we go through the basics of the food program, the meal pattern, civil rights, all of those kind of things, menu planning. We go through all of that. And then we come to your home, because we do have to do a home inspection. So we come in, I hate to say inspection, but a home visit. So we do come in and finalize the training, finalize all the paperwork. And then you can start claiming that day when we do the home visit. And speaking of visits, we do, like JFS, we are in your home. So sometimes people have a little pushback. And I get it. I understand. I respect that. It's your home. And again, I'll get on the soapbox for my family child care providers. You guys you're not on an island. You're not, because you've got us as a food program. You've got your R&R, there. So you're never on an island, but it is different in the fact that you're not like a center, that you have somebody there to help you. So we understand sometimes it's a little intimidating when somebody else is coming into your home. My providers kind of know when we're coming. They are unannounced visits, but they know that 3 to 4 months it rotates in, when we come in. But, guys, think of it this way too. What a great marketing tool. Now, my background's in marketing. I used to, in another lifetime previous to this, I was the marketing manager for our county CVB. And I worked in radio for years. So it's one of those things that every time I think of a marketing tool, I just think, oh, this is just great for my programs. What a great tool it is to say, look, I have these licensing requirements, but I'm also doing a food program to ensure that your kiddos get that quality of food every day. And on top of it, they're monitoring my program, Step Up's coming in. That's a great marketing tool for you. And food program, that's a great marketing tool for you. But to get back to Ronnie, what you were asking, phase 1 training is when you onboard as a new provider. When you onboard, the phase 1 can be online. If we don't have phase 1 online scheduled and you're ready to get on board, then I just come to your home and do the entire training there. But we must be in your home to finalize the onboard training, because I have to do a home visit. So I have to come out and see the home to finalize that. So it's either online phase 1 and then finalized onboard home visit, or it's all just done in your home. But we do have to physically be in your home. The annual training, because we do an annual policy and procedure. So if you're already with the food program and you're asking because how do you, because and you're aware that we do an annual training, we do that virtually. That's all online. We use Microsoft Teams. We don't use Zoom, but we use Microsoft Teams, but it's an online. So the annual training is online.
And
so
is it,
that is
I think she's asking, is it run by you too? Because I know, or like, because I was with the other food program
I
and
know.
we had to go into a system and run it, but it sounds like you guys run the annual training
I
is
do
what
it.
I'm asking.
I do that.
Okay.
Yep, I do for my homes. I think our centers have, we'll call them canned trainings, what it sounds like.
And they were hard to navigate. No, I mean, I'm good on computers, and it was hard for me to navigate. Yeah. So that's why I think she was asking. It is. That as well.
No, we do it, Mary Beth and Ronnie, we do it, our annual training. We do it online. Matter of fact, ours will be happening this month in September. Our annual training is, what I do basically, just to kind of give you an overview of it, is, I set up 3 or 4 or 5 different dates, mornings, early morning, afternoon, nap time, evenings like this, and say, okay, pick one. And we've got like an hour training or so. And then I just run the PowerPoint and, yes, you have participation, the questions and answers, but we run it through Microsoft Teams, which is like Zoom.
And do they get OA credit for that or no?
They do not. Unfortunately, nutrition training is not. OHP is, because they do more of the Ohio Healthy Programs. Forgive me, in this world, I get teased at work for being the acronym queen. OHP being Ohio Healthy Programs is Ohio approved, but that's because they do a little deeper than just nutrition. Yeah,
I just knew that was going to be a question.
No, I get it. No, and because it's very food program specific. Right. I wish it could be OA approved, because we do a lot, but especially as an R&R, we do a lot. We do a lot of business stuff. But for the annual training, we do focus on. And the other thing is, I personally, as the lead specialist, I prefer not to do anything like a canned training, because my goal again is to ensure the success of my providers, of course, while the kiddos are getting the nutrition. But I base our training off of trends. So if there's something happening that I know is going to help increase your monies or is going to better the program for you, that's what your training is going to be on.
Awesome. Sounds awesome.
Great question. Thank you, Ronnie, for asking.
Terry,
I have a question.
Oh, Brittany.
Hi, Brittany.
No, go ahead, Miss Karen.
No, well, my question is that with the training, if you're already in another food program and their method of training is different, can you take another method of training for a different food program, or you have to be with the same program?
You mean for the annual training, Miss Karen? You mean for your annual?
Yes, annual training.
No, you have to. Thank you. That's a. It does get confusing, because when you think training is kind of encompasses just you think of Okra and registering for training that way and stuff. But food program training is very specific to that sponsorship. So my annual training is not going to count for your if you're with like Children's Hunger Alliance, if you're with them. It's not going to count for them. And understand, I know children, again, when you've been in this field as long as I have, all the folks around, and CHA is one of the biggest ones in the state. We know that, and I humbly accept it. And I know Lisa Carlson, who is the director over there. I mean, she and I have been doing this about the same number of years. So, but so we have the same requirements regulatory wise, but specific sponsorship things like training has to be just that. It has to be specific to your sponsorship. But great question, Ms. Karen. Thank you. Did that answer what you were asking there? Yes, okay.
Yeah. And
All right.
I can understand what you had just talked about earlier regards about, that training face to face or person to personal. And if anyone have any questions or additional questions, you'll be there to assist them, and you'll be
Yes.
there to ask any question or inform them any additional information that you have, which the other trainer can't do until
Okay.
at the last minute. But I understand.
And Karen, if you're with another sponsor, and again, October is a switch over month for anybody, there's a little different training with that because you've already had that. So you don't have to go through the full on compass. We do something, I jokingly call it the Reader's Digest condensed version, because you've already done it, you already know the program. So we're doing more like transfer training for you then, just what our what we do as a sponsor. So you already know the software. Are we using the same software? Yes. No. Like I just brought a provider on yesterday from Stark County, and she was with the other program a couple years ago, and they did, for example, no electronic, nothing was electronic with them. And for me, I give my providers the option, if they're enrolling new kiddos, you can do either. It is so much easier to do enrollments using e-forms, it's called. So you don't have to print out that enrollment form. You don't have to chase down that parent signature. You just, you do it one time. That parent at drop off or pick up, they come in, they log, you log them into your system. They fill it out, and in 2 minutes time, that form is done basically. And it's, you've reviewed it. And that's another thing. I make my sponsor preferences. I add one more level. And what I mean is on e-forms, that parent completes it, then it comes back to you. Well, why would you do that? Because I don't know if little Mary Beth is there from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or if she's there, from 5 a.m. to 7. And I want to make sure you get your fullest reimbursement. So you give it a quick look, see, it looks good, boom, it's done, it's out of there, it's to me. But you have that flexibility. If you don't want to do it electronically, cool, that's very fine. I want to meet you where you're at. And if that works, that you'd rather do them manually, that's very fine. You can do them manually. And if you have an iPhone, we'll work together and show you how to scan them so you don't have to print them. But, there's different options I want to, meet my providers at. But I have found, and my providers have been much more happy using electronic claim submission. But we are flexible with you. Only thing I don't do anymore is bubble menus. If any of you are in those old bubble menus, those are long gone. We chucked that thing a long time ago. So
Okay.
I think, Brittany, did you have a question for me?
That's okay. You kind of answered it with Miss Karen's question.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And like I said, if any of you have any more questions after tonight, you can reach out to one of us, and we can always reach out to Terry if we don't know the answer, or get you in touch with her.
Or
So
my email and phone number contact are on there. Please just let me know. So, and one thing my team and I, that we stand very steadfast. If you don't hear from me in 24 hours, even if I'm in the field, I will always try to respond. Hey, I got your email. I'm traveling. I'll get back with you as soon as I'm in the office. Because you're important. You've taken the time to reach out. So that's my model. We try to respond within 24 hours.
Appreciate that, because we know you have a busy life too. So thank you.
Thanks. So, I love this network. Thank you guys very much for inviting us. And if we can help in any way, let us know.
All right, Terry. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. There we go.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Well, that was great. And I know some of you probably are on the other food program, but I've had a lot of questions recently. And so I thought we would just bring her on. We're going to try to bring on a speaker whenever we have our meetings. So if you guys think of something that you really want to hear about, email one of your specialists and we will try to find somebody. I'm going to try to get somebody about retirement and things like that. So if there's something else, and who was the other one, Holly? Help me out. I can't think. Do you remember the other one we talked about? Brittany? I can't remember. Oh, insurance. I think it was insurance. Family child care insurance was the other one we're going to try to get a speaker about. So with all of that, like I said, we can keep going on, but if you have any questions about the food program, reach out. The next thing on our agenda is, does everybody receive the email that you can now take communicable disease on Okra? And it does not cost anything. And it's good for 3 years. I think it's a 2-hour training, right? I'm looking at my girls because I haven't looked at it all the way yet. But if yours is still good, you do not have to take that now. It's just, keep an eye on your expiration date. And when you're ready to take it, you can just take the one online. And remember, that's the same way as the child abuse now. You do not have to pay for child abuse or communicable disease. You go in through Okra, take it, and it registers right in your Okra account that you've taken it, and your licensing specialist can see that on your profile. And with training in mind, I'm just reminding everybody, the new biennium started. So those of you who've gotten in your Okra and saw that things have moved up every biennium, it goes into, some things move up into the last biennium, and then it looks like you have no hours, which, we know that it's kind of scary at first, but they will start over again as soon as you start taking your hours, and you need the 20 again before 2025. But also remember that you need 6 hours every fiscal year. So if you took all 30 hours or 20 hours right now, you would still need to take 6 after next July, because the county counts fiscal, step-up counts biennium. So keep that in mind, because I've had a couple providers short a few hours, even though they had over 20, but you have to make sure from July 1st to June 30th, July 1st through June 30th, you have 6, so 12 hours total in each of those years, 6 and 6. I know it gets confusing, so if somebody's confused on that, please reach out. And also on trainings, know that we are working hard to get a new training calendar out. We're going to we are almost all of our specialists on here are training in some sort of way, but we are having some in-person and some virtual on our next schedule in all the counties. The next big thing was customized schedule. Remember, this weekend is Labor Day, so that means Sunday it will start your school year school age payment. Remember, over the summer you get a little bit more for the school agers, but once Labor Day starts, then you have to make sure you have a customized schedule in there for every school ager, or else it will not let you submit for them. And on that note also, so if you need help with that, please reach out. But the other thing is if you have a customized schedule in there, but then they have a teacher day, a snow day, or like holiday breaks, you have to go in and mark school out, or else it's automatically going to subtract out those hours that you told them that they were in school. So remember that because it saves the parent swiping in and out 4 times. So that is supposed to make it easier. They swipe in the morning, child gets on the school bus, they come back, parent picks them up after. Even if they don't do it both ways, just make sure that it should clock them out while they leave for that school time. Anybody has questions, please reach out. Next thing on my list is ODJFS changed their website, and I don't know if you guys have realized that, but I just wanted to share that I did find some really cool tips for compliance. So it is under licensing compliance, and then there's all kinds of different handouts, I guess you would call them. There's a template for the handbook, template for the disaster plan. They're always making sure we have the right information in our handbook about milk, making sure we have tummy time on our lesson plans, right, for the infants. There's some things about swimming, field trips. And my favorite one is right there at the top is what to expect during your licensing inspection. I pull that out even for my own program every year. I pull that out, start looking at it, making sure I have everything on the wall that they want to look at. And I have everything in my book and all of that, because there's so much for you guys to remember. And I know you're busy with kiddos all day. So I just like to point out that there is some things up here for us. So yeah, disaster plan, written handbook. Well, written information is also your handbook, right? Many names for that. And then there are some other resources in there too. I'm not pulling them all up, but there are, if you click resources, there's some other things that you can look at. And also this one that says job aids if you are not sure how to do anything in OCLQS, there's a job aid for it. You can still reach out to us. We can tell you where to find it, but also how to get into your program and change that. Because remember, you have to change your rates. If you're raising your rates or changing your rates, you have to do that in OCLQS. If you're changing your banking information, lots of different things in there. So keep that in mind. Any questions on that before I jump off that page? Okay. It took me a while to find it. That's why I thought I'd share that, because I knew where it was and then they changed the website. So it still takes us a couple minutes to find it. We've been getting a lot of questions about that Ohio Promise. I'm going to pull Okra up and show you where to sign in for that. Okay, it's not going to sign me in. Hold on. Okra doesn't like me signing in right now. There we go. Nope. Okay. It's just clicking. It's not letting me sign in. So give me a second. Oh, it's offline for maintenance. Okay. Well, I guess I can't show you, but your specialist can help you. But with that also, and this is probably why they're working on it, because starting tomorrow, Okra is going mobile, and they've been having ads all over Facebook, I noticed, and on their website. So that's probably why it's down tonight. I didn't realize what time it was going to go down, but it should make it easier to navigate Okra on your phone, because I know several of you use your phone and try to, get on trainings and all of that. And it really was not set up for mobile use before, but they've done a lot of, so give it a day or two, because whenever something starts back up, or something new, it might have some glitches. So, but yeah, it should be easier to navigate on your phone now on anything in Okra. But I was going to just talk about the Ohio Promise is the inclusion credential. I'm probably 95% sure that the first 50 slots have probably been taken, but you can still go in, take the trainings, which they count for your annual 20 hours. But you can get your program designated for special needs. And then there'll be a little thing in Okra and in OCLQS that you're credentialed for that. And that means if you do have a special needs child in your care, there's another piece of paper you have to fill out and so forth, but you will get a higher reimbursement rate for that child. So the grant part of it, I believe, like I said, it was the first 50 centers and the first 50 family child care across all 88 counties. So if I was you, you could still try. I just don't know where they're at in that number. They have not shared that. Does anybody have any questions on that? There's 5 trainings you have to take and some other forms and so forth that you have to be aware of and look at and have on hand. And then you apply through the state to get that designation. Anybody on here do that already that wants to share a little bit, that how easy or any struggles?
It's really easy. I mean, I already did three of the classes. And then you had to fill out this one paper, and I've already been approved. So I don't know what that does. You said more money. Is it different from what I was already getting?
No, because you were grandfathered in because you were already taking on a special needs child, Ronnie. But anybody else who gets that, they still have to fill out that other form. I don't remember the number, but where you have to add the child's thing. But you will just be designated. So that means if ODGFS wants to refer somebody, or our agency wants to refer somebody, hey, I have a child that has autism, or whatever other special needs, they can say, oh, this center is designated. You might try them. And then they can call you to see if you have openings and if you're prepared to take that child. Not everybody is trained to take every child, and we know that. But it gives parents a place to at least start to try to find care for their children. Loretta, did you want to add something?
Well,
I know you're working on that too.
Yeah, I had a little bit of problem with it with the chorus kit.
Oh.
I did the thing like two times, and it never said if I finished it or was approved or nothing. So what I did, I just did everything else that I was supposed to do, and they sent me the thing, said that I was approved. I got my certificate and everything. So I guess it worked.
I think that CARA's kit is more like a resource for you, but I know there was something to click on and all of that. I can check on that for you, but I think as long as you went in and researched it and you have it available, then that part of it you're done with. Because I don't think you actually get a certificate for taking that or anything like that. So, yeah, but thank you.
Mary Beth, how do we know if we one of the first 50?
They will contact you. Yeah, that would come from
Okay.
GFS. We have not gotten a list, or you know how we usually get lists of stuff. We have not heard a word about that. I have a meeting with somebody from ODGFS tomorrow. I can try to ask them if they're going to send something out with that.
I was gonna say, 'cause I've never been notified that I'm on the 50. I just know that I was approved.
Okay. All right.
So
Well, thank you. Thank you, ladies, for sharing the ones that have tried. And like I said, I've walked a few people through. So if you're interested, it's something else, as Terry was talking about, it's another marketing tool. If you're comfortable with that and you want to help families out, it gets you a little bit more money, which it doesn't cost the parents any more money. All they have to produce is the forms showing what they got from their doctor and the IEPs and all that. Okay. All right. Who put something in here? So let's see. Cindy, if you get designated for special needs, that just means you have to take, no, you don't have to. Nope. It means you're designated, but you do not have to. Can you be, okay, so I have a child that wears braces on his feet, so he can't, yeah, I don't know what right, that is a special, you have the right to work with that family to know if you feel qualified to take that. I would just be careful. You don't want to discriminate or anything like that. But that would be something between you and the parent. No, we are not telling you that you have to take every special needs parent that calls you or a special needs child. No, because we all know, I mean, there's no way that.
Yeah, Cindy, that would be a case.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Brittany.
It would be a case by case scenario.
Right.
So it would just depend on the situation and the setup of your home and your comfort level and stuff. But they're not expecting you to take every special needs kid that applies to be in your program.
Thanks, Brittany, because I think that was a concern for some people. If it says that, do they have to take everyone? So thanks for asking that, Cindy, and thanks for clarifying that, Brittany, because I know that's a concern. We want to help families, but we also want to feel we're qualified to, take on the care. But like I said, any other questions about that, we can help you or at least navigate you through Okra, because some of the trainings you do have to take on another website. You have to but then the credit goes back into Okra. So like I said, you kind of leave the site, take the training, and then your credit gets transferred back into your Okra account. So, and I'm pretty sure they're pretty quick about it from what I can see.
Man, Beth, so with those 20 hours we supposed to have, if we took that course, then we should be good, right?
I'd have to look at each individual because I don't know how many hours each one of them was. I don't think it was a full 20, was it?
No, I'm just saying, but we would get counted towards that?
Oh, yeah, that would count towards your 20.
Hours?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And towards the 6 for the state. Yeah, for your state license. Yep.
Right. Okay.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. The other thing I was going to talk about is we always like to remind you that step up can come at any time. They can come during your licensing visit, or they can come 2 weeks after your licensing visit. So always, or the next day. I haven't heard that next day, but they could.
I had mine Friday and Monday.
Oh, okay. And I know one. I heard somebody else said that too. So yeah, so you have to be ready. What I say is just keep an eye on when you've done your BAS and your PD for the star ones, especially higher stars. You have a lot more to keep in track of, but for the star ones, keep an eye out, just like you do for your kiddo paperwork, right? If you do the kids' paperwork every January, you have to have it ready. Some people do it like that. Some people do it whenever their children are due for their paperwork. But just make sure that if you've done your BAS every August, you better make sure your BAS is done and your PD plan are done. I don't want anyone to lose their star rating. Of course, you have to keep your lesson plans and all the other forms, but those two, the BAS score sheet and the PD plan are the two that you really have to work on. Lesson planning should be ongoing. Your community resources, you can always update. Your transition information usually doesn't change, but you have to keep on top of all that. And then making sure you have that new ELDS book out there. All of you should have received the new ELDS, and I was going to share a picture of that because some people were like, what does that mean? So I thought I would share what the book looks like, this here. And as far as what we were told in our county is we also have to have the link to where you can get it online. So I don't know if that's true in all counties, but in our counties, you have to have the book and you have to have the link on how to get to it electronically. So unless I hear something different, that's what I'm going to share. So if anybody, you should have received that. They were sent out, I believe around May, June-ish. So, yeah, let us know. And then the other thing that they're starting to really check is called the Ficker's profile. And I've been doing Step Up for a very long time. Yes, we can. I can email out the link. Yes, Ronnie. But now they are checking that, and I'm just going to share a picture of what that looks like, because I probably should have known better, but hey, I will admit my mistakes too. I did not know we had to have that ready. Okay, where'd it go? All right, hold on one second. It didn't open. Okay. It's here. It looks like this. So it kind of looks similar to the last page of the BAS, but it's, you transfer all your scores into bubble form and then you draw the lines. So it's a graphed form, right? So you would mark where your scores were and draw a line and make like a graph for all of those. You do not have to do them twice a year, but this is set up to do that. And some of my specialists know they go in and do these 4 programs specifically. There's a beginning, and then, you know, later in the year, they'll do it again to see where the improvements are. But as all of our stars, starting with star 2 and on up, you just have to do them once a year, unless you're inclined to do it more than once. But like I said, they never checked this paper. I don't know if it's something new or if it was just missed in the past. So I'm just throwing that out there for anybody a star 2 and higher. Make sure this page is included with your score sheet. I can also send that out if people need it, because like I said, I never pushed that before because I didn't know. Oh, something else is in the chat here. Let me see what this is. Oh, I think, okay. Did I see there is supposed to be a family grant sometime down the road for special needs children to help while they are in childcare? I don't know anything. I know that you can get higher weekly reimbursements for your childcare if the child is on an IEP, but I don't know of anything about a grant except for this new credential. And like I said, that only went to the first 50. I can send that to you, Teresa, but it is on their website too, for the Ickers, Eckers, Fickers, Sakers, but I can send that out. If I can do a follow-up when I send out the recording. I'll send you the link for the ELDS online and the profile. I can send you that as a attachment.
Mary Beth,
And then also, oh, go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Ronnie.
just so everybody knows how they work, you keep saying you get extra money. If you're getting paid for for let's say a school ager, it's 132, they double it. So, or 134. So they give you $268 instead of, but it doesn't matter your star rating. You do not get the extra money for your star rating. That's a flat rate for the special needs child, which it'd be more than your star rating, you know, but I'm just saying, if you wonder how much you get for a special needs child, it's double whatever the flat rate without the bonuses.
Thank you, Ronnie. But there's a yearly paper that you and the family has to fill out and submit, correct? Like
yes.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
But that's really easy. You just fill out the form. You have to include an IEP, and it can be electronically. I get it directly from the school, the IEP. I have a 16-year-old with autism, and actually they send it to the parent. The parent sends it to me, and it's not really that hard. You just got to remember to do it the month before it expires. And they're very, very nice down there.
Thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate that, because you're somebody I know that has done that and works hard with that. So I appreciate you sharing that. Like she said, though, you're not getting double your star 2, 3, or 4, whatever star rating you are, but you would get double whatever your county pays for that age group. Right? Okay. Okay. Brittany, did you want to add something on that?
I wanted to piggyback off of what you said about the ELDS. I know some of you use the GWiz, and some people were worried about if it was going to align with the new ELDS, and the state did release information saying that the GWiz does align with the new ELDS, and of course, Teaching Strategies does too.
Yep. Thank you, Brittany. Yeah, we just received a form that it shows all the alignments for any of the curriculum that, I mean, but mostly the two we use around, in Ohio that I've seen is GWiz and Creative Curriculum. I didn't notice if the other two are on there that some people use, but we could always check that. If you use a different curriculum, we could check to see if it's aligned. Or you're always welcome to do your own alignment, but it's not that easy. So, all right. That is all I had. So I'm going to open it up to questions, or if any of my specialists want to add anything. We'll just try to give you guys the most up-to-date information that we know about. So let me know if I missed anything.
Thing about it, didn't I?
Good question, Mary Beth.
Uh-oh, she froze it.
With the ODE grant, I am lost.
Well, you're going to probably have to call us.
Hello?
Because we are not running that grant. We can get you in touch with somebody who is, because that's, like you said, that's ODE, and we work with ODJFS, even though we sent out the information and all that, but we do have contact people to get you in touch with that and walk you through some of that. So we've taken some of the trainings, but I'm going to say me, and unless someone else on this call is an expert, I don't think we are, because it's all new. But we can get you, if you want to give us a call, Teresa, we can help you get to the right people. Is there a new activity schedule for them? No, we have not seen that come through yet. I think she's talking about the the 15-13, right?
The lesson plan, yeah.
No. Nope, I have not seen that. So maybe we'll see if somebody's willing to work on that, because that's a state form. So I have not seen that come through. But
that was a good question.
That is a great question, Donna. Thank you. She's on top of it. I will ask the state that as well. But they take a little bit of time, because I think it all has to go through regulatory whenever they change a form, because those are part of a special. Well, that one is just a sample form, so I don't know, but we will find out, because that is a great question.
So are we required to use the new standards now? Are they official?
It's either or. It's either or right now. I think they were waiting until those alignment tools came out, like we just talked about. And like you said, we probably are waiting till the new codes are on there. But right now you're allowed to use either or, is my understanding. We have not gotten word that you have to use one or the other. So I tell everyone, don't throw out the old ones yet. Just hang on to them. I mean, you can put them in a cupboard if you want to use the new ones. The new ones are awesome. But and I like that they broke them down into more domains, right? I think math, science, social studies, and then they added the creative. So I think it's a great, and you could use the new ALDS and just, like, if you can put math, we'll know what that means. And as long as you can explain that to your specialist, you'll be okay. Until that new form comes out, you can actually manually write math, science, or an M, and you can put your little code down at the bottom, say M is for math, S is for science, whatever. But yeah, as long as it's aligned and you can tell them how you did it, they will be fine with that. And as long as you have at least one of either the old or the new ALDS in your possession, though. Yeah.
All right, everyone, it is 7:31.
Yep.
We want to be respectful of everyone's time. We thank you for joining us tonight. Our next Better Together will be October, and then our next one will be in December. We'll get those finalized dates out to you, but we're looking to do this every other month. Again, like Mary Beth said, please let us know if you have anybody that you would like us to have on for a guest speaker that you want more information on, and we can get in touch with them so that they can be a part of this. Please, as we know we recorded, but please share this with your other childcare providers, because we really want to grow this network, and we really want you guys to continue to work together and grow together, and family childcare to take over the world. So, and we can only do that together. But thank you all for joining us tonight, and everyone have a wonderful holiday weekend.
Thank you, everyone, for taking time out.
Thank you. Bye.
Mary Beth, you want to stop the recording?
Good meeting. Very good.
Good information.